Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching, and by now most if not all of you have heard of the recent wildfire incident that's happened in Maui in Hawaii, and that unfortunately there's been considerable amount of damage and casualties that have tragically occurred. And just to talk about a quick subject before getting to the more heart of the matter is that our former president, Donald Trump, he gave a very passionate, heartfelt speech about his concerns and about the tragedy that went on there, and how he went. Yeah, what am I kidding? He turned this whole speech into some ridiculous PR stunt, just as a means, just so he can poke at Biden and put all the blame on him and shine a spotlight on himself and say like, oh, Sleepy Joe and all this other stuff. I heard it like a week ago. I don't remember what he specifically said, just a few of the highlights. And, it's just yet another pathetic attempt for him to try and make it more about himself, and he was as unanimated and as robotic as can be. It came off very mechanical, like he was reading off a teleprompter, and I guarantee, or I could be wrong, he didn't write that, But again, maybe he did. He claims how much, he loves everyone, and that this would never happen under his. Well, Donald, what exactly would you have done? Like if they showed a map with the wildfire, would you have drawn a Sharpie and put a big X through it and say, there you go, problem solved? Would you have gone down there and thrown paper towels around and complained how, the people of Maui have now put a huge, damper on the budget? That's assuming if you were the president then, which obviously you're not. Or would you have just gone down there and brought some of your crappy Trump water, which just came out of the faucet, and handed it around with some silly MAGA hats that none of the people there would want, and then say you're going to treat them out to dinner, but then not do anything, okay? This reminds me of a video I made based on the train derailment that occurred in East Palestine, Ohio, not too long ago. And of course, Trump did a similar stunt there, as I described, with all the water and stuff. This is no different. And just to make it clear, I'm not making this all about Biden and just meant to bash Trump, because it's the people of Hawaii that matter. But a lot of people were putting out videos where they were showing Biden sitting on the beach, say, look, our president did nothing, okay? Actually, he sent a good amount of FEMA down there to help the people of Maui. Did he go there in person? No. Does he plan to go? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't looked at it that closely because I'm more focused on the disaster itself and not some of the politicians trying to rally behind it who either are really making an effort to do something or just using it yet again as another PR stunt. Here's the general point I'm trying to make, which I did before and I'll reiterate, is that does it really matter if the president, whoever that president might be, whether it's Trump, Biden, or someone else, goes to a place where, a certain disaster strikes? It's good to the point, but in the end, what is it really doing? Is it doing something more for him, or is it doing something more for the cause to help people? And my feeling is it's better that he doesn't go, because somebody else made this point before. And it's that when the president's there, it's actually more of a distraction, because naturally the Secret Service are going to be there. They got to secure the area. They got to set up a camera crew and all this other equipment. He's got all this other staff there. I get it. He's the president. He needs his protection as well. But you know what? You know who's in greater need? The actual people that are there, that have suffered from this disaster, whose houses, in this case Maui, were destroyed, that were burned down, that they actually lost lives, okay? That they had to sit in seawater, for considerable hours to protect themselves from the fires. Those are the people that really need the attention, okay? So is it good that the president is there? Sure, it puts a little focus on it, but in the end, it comes off more like a PR stunt. And that, like I said, that's with any president, okay? I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. When disaster happens, it's going to happen on their watch, okay? So when somebody says, oh, this never would have happened under me, disasters happen. What's this guy talking about? Okay? It's how they deal with it. That's what makes the difference. And if you're somebody that deep down really cares, if you're a leader, whether it's a president or senator, somewhere in between, then you use your influence or you use your leadership as a means to try and get resources down there. That's the important thing. Here's something I did today, which I can almost guarantee that Donald Trump didn't do. I actually went online and made a donation, okay? As I said before, could I have gone to East Palestine during that incident? Yeah, but that really wouldn't have done much. I don't have a lot of money, so the trip wouldn't be cost effective. And just handing out a few bottles of water isn't going to do a whole lot. Instead, I went out and made a nice, reasonable donation to help those people. The same thing here with Maui. The same thing that you can do. What I would say to Donald Trump is, if you really care and you really do that, you could, and I think I use the same example with East Palestine, you could write them a check for, say, $10,000 for a person with all your wealth that you like to brag about so much. That's just a drop in the bucket for you. Do you think Donald Trump did that? Do you really think he did that? Let's be honest here. And I'm talking to the supporters out there, because I know this guy can do no wrong. But I seriously doubt that. He's accepting donations to pay for his legal bills. So do you think he's using any of his own funds to help people that are going through a recent tragedy? I seriously doubt it. And if he did, I'd be damn surprised. And at the very least, I would give him some credit for that. But I seriously doubt if he's done that. And that would be all too easy for him. That is something people can do. If you're a president or a person in power, like I said, you can use your position to rally up resources to help people that are going through this tragedy, that are in need. That would be true leadership. Not just going there showing your face. Again, it looks good for the cameras to a point, and maybe it does help. It shows the people that it gives them some sense of hope. But in reality, it's best stay out. Let the rescue workers, let the professionals go there who know how to deal with these type of situations do their thing. Send FEMA, send other resources down there. Use your funds to try and help these people out. That is what makes a difference. So when Donald Trump says, oh yeah, I love these people, you know what I say to Donald? Really? F you, okay? Because you don't care. You don't love any of those people. The only thing you love is money and power. You've been doing it for years. You are driven by a sickness of greed and a lust for power. That is what you care about. That is all that you have ever really cared about. That is all that you will continue to care about to your last dying day. So I don't think he cares more about the Maui any more than he does about East Palestine or his supporters for that matter. He just wants money for them to support himself. Guess what? He doesn't need it. You know who does need it? The people in Maui. And charity is something I always try and preach, you know. And it doesn't always have to be for a disaster. It can be for anything. So if you're really interested in helping, one of the things I did was it's an initiative called Maui Strong. It's by the Hawaii Community Foundation. I'll leave some of that information at the end of the video. You could also donate to the American Red Cross. And somebody on the news, I forget which outlet it was, but made a point, be mindful of where you're donating to make sure it's a reliable, reputable source. Sadly, there's a lot of scammers out there that bring out their worst when the worst happens. So you want to make sure the actual money is going to a good cause and not some greedy fat cat's pocket. Any numbers. But anything you can do today. If you can, if you're really strapped for cash, I get it. You're not obligated. I'm not pressuring anyone to do it. But if sometime today or in the near future you can find it in your heart to just donate something, and as I always say, the amount is always up to you, okay? And even if it's just a small amount, it may not seem like much to you. Let's say you only did like $5. But if, say, like 1 million people did $5, or even just $1 each, those small amounts begin to add up, and that can help make a difference, all right? As I said, $10,000 before, maybe that's not a lot of money to certain people, but if you're somebody, just a working class person that lost everything, lost your entire house, where you've had lives lost, yeah, that $10,000 can come in handy. So anyway, shame on the politicians all rallying, using this as some PR stunt. And, you know, for those of you who are buying into all this BS, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Whatever. Some of you are a part of the cult, can't be convinced. But again, it's not about them. It's not even about me. It's about the people that are suffering. And whether you believe it or not, eventually they'll rebuild and they'll do what they can to help the people there. And down the road, another disaster can strike. And truth be told, it can happen to you, no matter where you are. You might find yourself in a situation of a hurricane, a tornado, a wildfire, and suddenly you're the one that's suffering. Do you want some politician to come down and just say, hi, I'm love, I feel for you? That's great and all, but I'd rather have actual resources come down and try and help me and my family when we're in need, when we're at our most vulnerable. That's what the people need. They need compassion. They need people thinking about them. Not just thoughts and prayers, but above all, charity. So, like I said, I'll leave the information at the end of this video. Anything you can do today would be great. And like I said, just remember, one day it might happen to you and you'll be looking, for people to try and step forward and help out. So, in the end, it's all about us. And that is helping America, and that is what makes us patriotic. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.